Business owners and dealers must submit GST return annually or monthly covering sales, purchase, outward supplies and input tax credit. This is done to assess GST's liability within a specific tax period to avoid late fees or penalties. Hi, I'm Pooja Singh from Techjockey.com and today I'll be talking about types of GST returns, their due dates, penalties and more. GST returns are filed on the basis of the kind of a business a taxpayer is involved in. As a result, there are different types of GST returns that should be paid monthly, quarterly or annually. Now let's talk about the GST return forms for businesses. GSTR-1. GST monthly returns under GSTR-1 involves detailed sales transactions, outward supplies and credit and debit notes. Small taxpayers with Rs 1.5 crore turnover can file quarterly returns which can be applied at the end of the month. GSTR-2. GSTR-2 is a monthly GST return form for inward supplies containing taxpayer information, return time and final invoice level information and allowing editing of GST return details. GSTR-3. GSTR-3 is a monthly GST return that covers both outward and inward supplies, tax liabilities, taxes paid and the claimed input tax credit. On the basis of GSTR-1 and GSTR-2, GSTR-3 is auto-generated in nature. GSTR-3B. GSTR-3B is for GST registered taxpayers covering tax liability, outward supplies and input tax credit claim, serving as a relaxation step for businesses transitioning to GST. GSTR-9. The annual GST filing return under GSTR-9 includes upcoming and paid taxes, outward supplies and previous year's supplies under IGST, HSN code, CGST and SGST. GSTR-9C. GSTR-9C is a reconciliation statement for taxpayers with annual turnover of Rs 2 crores requiring audited statements from a chartered or cost accountant. Now let's talk about businesses operating under composition scheme. They need GSTR-4. GSTR-4 is a quarterly GST return form for composition scheme taxpayers now replaced by CMP-08 payable quarterly for turnover up to Rs 1.5 crore. Next is GSTR-9A. GSTR-9A filing is an annual GST return for composition taxpayers consolidating all quarterly returns submitted so far. Registered composition taxpayers pay these returns annually for a financial year. Now let's talk about the GST return forms for other business dealers and owners. You need to file GSTR-5, GSTR-6, GSTR-7, GSTR-8, GSTR-9B, GSTR-10 and GSTR-11. If you are interested to know more details on these GST returns or the due dates, please click the blog link in the description. Now let's talk about GSTR-1A. Those who have cross-checked their GST return status and found any mismatch, they can opt for GSTR-1A to make any amends or corrections. Now let's talk about returns that are drafted automatically. GSTR-2A is a read-only GST form for inward supplies of goods and services, while GSTR-4A is an automated form from GSTR form number 1, 5 and 7 furnished as quarterly returns. Now let's talk about GSTR-3A. It applies to business owners or dealers who forgot to file GST returns. GSTR-3A is issued directly by the tax authorities. Now, who should file GST Nil Return? If there has been no invoice generated in a month, you need to file GST Nil Return. Unless there is a late fee of Rs 20 per day, you need to file GSTR-1 and GSTR-3B for filing GST Nil Returns. Now let's talk about how to file GST return. Taxpayers need to submit tax return to the GST Department of India monthly, quarterly or annually. With automated tax filing system, you can log into the government portal for paying GST. Step 1. Get your 15-digit GST identification number. Step 2. Upload your invoices. Step 3. File for inward and outward supplies. Step 4. Mention the time period for GST return filing. Step 5. Review your info. Step 6. Submit the final form. Step 7. File the returns. Now let's understand how can you check your GST return status. ARNs are provided to the taxpayer who have filed GST returns, allowing them to check the status by visiting the government GST portal with filling necessary details. With the extended GST return dates, businesses have got some relief in filing their returns. You can access all the return details and submit the GST accordingly. If you found this video helpful and insightful, do not forget to like, comment, share and subscribe our channel for more such updates. Hit the bell icon to get notified on our new uploads.